Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's TCS broadcast.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm Ronan. Okay, this week we have some news about the Iowa caucus.
First of all, we should talk about the difference between a caucus and a primary. A caucus is a meeting where people have a conversation and vote on candidates running for office. Caucuses are private events that are directly run by political parties themselves.
Now, primary elections are run by state and local governments. The primary election is the election that determines what party and its candidate wins the nomination. The Democratic candidates running in this presidential race are Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg, Andrew Wang, Amy Klobuchar, and Tom Sawyer. The running Republican candidates are Donald Trump, Joe Walsh, and Bill Weld.
The caucus will give momentum to the top Democratic and Republican candidates. This will help them win the nomination because the people know that they have some sort of base. One of the issues that happens when there are too many people running for one nomination is that there can be it can cause divisions within parties and its supporters because the basis is spread over multiple candidates.
Since the Iowa caucus is more important for the Democrats, Ethan and I will be talking about the two front runners in the Democratic Iowa caucus. These candidates are Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders.
Pete Buttigieg is the former mayor of South Bend, Indiana. He is a graduate of Harvard College and Oxford University. Buttigieg's major policy positions include abolition of the United States Electoral College, support for a public health insurance option, labor unions, universal background checks for gun purchases, protecting the environment by addressing climate change, a pathway to citizenship for undocumented immigrants, overturning the Citizens United ruling, and passing a federal law prohibiting discrimination against the LGBTQ plus community.
Bernie Sanders is the 78-year-old Democratic socialist running in the race. His major policies are that he wants America to become a safer place for all, he wants Medicare for everyone, he wants to work on fixing climate change, he wants college for all, workplace democracy, housing for all, expand Social Security, reinvest in public education, eliminate medical debt, tax on the extreme wealth, racial justice, high-speed internet for all, and free and fair elections, women's rights, gun safety, jobs for all, and fair banking for all, and LGBTQ plus equality. Everyone expected that Joe Biden would be higher in the polls. He came in fourth place. Joe Biden is a well-known candidate because he was the vice president for former President Barack Obama. But remember, caucuses don't choose the nominee for the general election. It just gives a candidate momentum going into the New Hampshire primary. Now, let's start TCS news.
On Thursday, we had a trip to the Baltimore Symphony Orchestra that Mr. Eric and Miss Karen set up for us. We went during their rehearsal for one of their upcoming shows and were given a very unique experience. I thought the musicians were very talented and I really liked the way that they were in sync. It must have taken a lot of work to get all of those people organized. I thought the most interesting part was when Sheku Kana-Mason played. Sheku is one of the most talented cellists in the world and puts a lot of emotion into his music, and you can really tell he enjoys what he does. He has performed in many places around England and the world, including the royal wedding of Prince Harry and Princess Meghan. We also interviewed some students about the symphony. We talked to Olivia first. She really likes classical music. She said that when she hears it, she is able to daydream and feel the music. She enjoys going to concerts live and appreciates the hard work and effort the musicians and conductor put in. We also talked to Claude. Claude enjoyed the classical music that was presented by the symphony. He heavily enjoyed Sheku the cellist and thought he was the best part. He said Sheku brought a positive energy to his body and ears and thought it was a really great experience. Ronan, what did you think of the field trip?
Well, I thought that the musicians did an excellent job playing the music. The music was very calm and peaceful for most of the time, but at some points it became loud. I'm always fascinated by how the musicians use their bodies as extensions of the instruments to get certain sounds. I had an overall great time and I can't wait to go again. Last Friday, Mr. Mike Gallo came in and had a conversation with us. Mr. Mike Gallo and Mr. Tom have been friends for a long time and met through the AIAC. He came in and gave us an inspirational speech about how you shouldn't let things stop you from accomplishing the things you want. He gave us examples from his life and how he got through them. He told us that he had a tough childhood. He grew up in Chicago with little money and little opportunities given to him. He was also a survivor of the Our Lady of Angels school fire that happened December 1st, 1958. He was a fourth grader at the time. He explained to us the horrors he saw inside the burning building. Burning escape routes and smoke-filled air making it both hard to see and breathe. Thankfully, he only made it out with a little burn. 92 children and 3 nuns died due to the fire. He explained to us that the fire occurred because of lack of response. Mr. Mike Gallo explained the importance of the fire and how it changed his life. We were shown pictures of what the fire was like in the aftermath and what the aftermath of the fire did to people who were affected. I could tell that there was a lot of emotion in the air when we were talking about it. I appreciate Mr. Mike for coming in, for talking to us about such a traumatic experience in his life. Afterwards, he gave us more accomplishments from his life. Mr. Mike Gallo was a vice president for the Minolta Company. He told us that it doesn't matter how smart you are, as long as you have the drive to become better, you will succeed. Mr. Mike Gallo also gave us helpful tips for the workplace, like being honest when you mess up and showing your supervisors that you have the drive to become both better for yourself and the company you're working for, and also to show respect to everyone. Ethan, what did you think of the conversation?
I thought that Mr. Mike was a very intriguing person. I could see all of the emotions he was feeling when he was talking about his childhood. This was the first time I ever had a real conversation with Mr. Mike Gallo. Through this conversation, I gained a deep respect for him. I think he is a very good role model, and there should be more people like him in the world and the workplace.
Thank you, Mr. Mike Gallo, for coming in and speaking with us. We hope to see you again very soon for your business conversation. Now, we would like to talk about some of the accomplishments the students have had in the school this past week, in and out of the classroom.
Last Friday, Jacob took his driver's test. We were all super excited for him. We found out that he passed on Monday when he came to school in his truck. He bought his truck with his own money that he makes from his job at College Hunks, in addition to being a full-time student. We were all very excited and proud of him. Jacob works very hard every day for everything he has in his life. Currently, he's a volunteer at a fire department in Pasadena. In March, he is planning to start his firefighter/EMT1 training. Congratulations, Jacob. We are all very proud of you.
We are also very proud of Olivia, Keith, and Ethan for winning awards in the 2020 Maryland Scholastic Art and Writing Awards. Keith won an honorable mention in the humor category for his work Once Upon a Time, which is a Halloween story. Ethan won the Emerging Artists Inspire Scholarship for his work Census Dividing. Olivia is a nominee in the American Voices category for her writing My Mountain. Olivia and her work will be submitted with 4 other Maryland finalists to the national competition. There were 13 special prizes in writing from both public and private schools located in Baltimore City. TCS students won 3 of the awards out of the 4,000 entries in all of Maryland. All of these writings were produced in Mr. Don's writing class that happens every Friday. These winning stories are a perfect example of the amazing work of Mr. Don and the students. Thank you, Mr. Don. Congratulations, Keith, Ethan, and Olivia for winning. We are so proud of you.
Over the weekend, Joshua and Manuel had youth work interviews. They both have previous experience of working at youth works from last year. They did interviews for culinary arts, working with kids, and fitness. We hope you guys are accepted, and good luck.
We would like to thank everyone who came in and provided a lunch this week. We want to thank Miss Meredith, Liani's sponsor, for the amazing pizza last Thursday. Miss Janae, my mom and sponsor, for the once again amazing tacos. Miss Carol for the incredible shepherd's pie and salad. Miss Peg for the amazing cheesy ham hash brown casserole with cashew clusters and pineapple. And finally, Miss Christina, Manuel's mom and sponsor, for the absolutely delicious pollo al nordo.
We also have a very important announcement. March 14th will be the 3rd annual Bull Roast. Tickets are now available, $50 per person and $450 for a table of 10. We are also selling 50-50 raffle tickets as well. Hope to see you there.
Okay, this wraps up this week's TCS News broadcast.
I hope you all enjoyed and have a wonderful day.